Can someone explain to me why the antidote used in Black Widow looks exactly like the Kool-Aid powder? Like, is this total proof that the Kool-Aid Man actually exists in the MCU? Because now every time I see the antidote, I keep thinking it's a highly dramatized Kool-Aid commercial. Oh yeah. Here's the thing, I don't hate the new Black Widow movie, okay? In fact, I actually thought it was pretty good. But like a lot of other Marvel fans who have been waiting over a year for a new movie to come out, I think it's safe to say we were all left a little bit blue-balled. Now, the reason why there's been a lot of mixed reviews about Black Widow is because we were all expecting a whole different story plot. I thought we were gonna get a full-on origin story. A whole movie that expands more on the orphan who was roped into a secret Russian spy family, then later gets disposed of into a secret organization that trains her to become the one and only Black Widow. Instead, we zip straight through that origin story and the movie just ends up taking place right after Civil War. Okay. So we didn't really get that juicy origin story, but at least we got to know about that secret mission, right? Apparently there was some mission that Black Widow and Hawkeye did in Budapest.
Budapest?
Budapest?
No, it's Budapest.
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 Budapest?
Budapest.
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 It's Budapest.
Whatever! And it was hinted at a couple times in the first Avengers movie, and again in this movie itself. So now I'm thinking we get some story trope of Natasha being haunted by her past, and being called back to Budapest with a special appearance by Hawkeye. Instead, we get a basic recon mission with a giant skyship that's owned by a Russian Danny DeVito.
Suicide is badass!
So, no real origin story, no Hawkeye in this movie, no Budapest mission, but this at least has to be a setup for something big in the MCU, right? Because a lot of people were hoping that Marvel may have found a way to bring Black Widow back from the dead. Maybe the post-credit scene at least should give us some sort of hint that Black Widow will return from the dead? Maybe. Just maybe?
Wow. Sorry. I'm allergic to the Midwest.
Yep, that's right. All we get is another setup for the Dark Avengers led by Val. Remember her, Val? Now again, none of this is bad. In fact, I'll later share some good things I liked about Black Widow, while explaining why this scene was very important later on. My point here though is that the movie kind of left us hanging on a few other things, making it too regular for an MCU movie. The one thing that kind of bugged me a little bit though was the Red Guardian, because I had no idea what to make of his character. I loved that David Harbour was in this movie and he did a great job playing the Russian counterpart of Captain America. But I feel like he barely did anything throughout the entire movie. We've only seen him do a couple cool things in the beginning, like flipping a tank or breaking some big dude's arm, but that's about it. I was expecting a lot more action out of him, but apparently he's just written as another joke character who gets nerfed a lot in this film. I understand that he's technically a bad guy for staging a fake family and then abandoning his daughters, but that doesn't mean there's no room for redemption. I mean, if anything, the least you can do is make him a good fighter, because this whole scene where he gets his butt kicked by the Taskmaster without even throwing in a punch was so cringy to watch. Even his fighting stance is weird, like what the heck is this? Is that supposed to be some like Russian bear technique? Just when I feel like the Red Guardian is about to have a big moment or some cool action fight scene, the movie just intercepts it dramatically and makes him look foolish again. He's basically the human version of Drax from Guardians of the Galaxy.
They think.
Now I really didn't want to bring this up, but as much as I hate to admit it, this is most likely another example of a superhero story being taken over by all that typical girl power stuff that makes the male characters look very bad, idiotic, or just plain soft. I'm not trying to sound like one of those fanboys ranting about feminism taking over the superhero genre, but when it comes to this movie, let's be honest here, they are literally asking for it. I mean, come on, you even womanized the Taskmaster. For a good majority of the movie, I thought the Taskmaster was going to be a dude, because, you know, that's what it was in the comics. But instead of Tony, we get Antonia? What? And on top of that, I feel like they made Black Widow a little too OP in this movie. I don't care how well trained you are, you do not have any powers, no super soldier serum, no iron suit, nothing. So can you please explain to me how the heck you're even alive right now? Because you are way too human to be surviving any of this. How? How? Now before some of you guys get mad and try to cancel me, I will be fair and say that the small feminism in this movie was still very subtle and it didn't really bother me that much. Whether or not the whole girl power vibe was intentional for this film, and it probably was, it was still presented in a way that wasn't all that cringy. And trust me, we've seen way worse. Now, like I've said before, there are some good things about this movie that I actually enjoyed. Despite my earlier comments, I do find the Taskmaster to be a very interesting character. Even though she's not as cool as the Taskmaster in the comics, I do hope she makes a return for future movies in the MCU. As for the post-credits scene, I love how they weave in the connection between the Disney Plus shows and the MCU movies for the first time ever. I also enjoyed Yelena's character as well, and I'm pretty psyched to see her in the MCU again. Mainly because I think she's cute. But anyway, the last good thing I liked about this film is the overall theme of forgiveness, and how this entire story portrays the classic image of a highly dysfunctional family. Cause let's face it, these people were a freaking mess. I mean, what kind of mother psychologically tortures a pig? Just kill the pig and make bacon like normal people. Your family is starving over here. But in conclusion, this isn't the worst Marvel movie I've ever seen, and it definitely wasn't on the same level of basicness as Captain Marvel. Story-wise though, it was a little bit mediocre and definitely could have been improved on. As the great Maxwell Lord would say,
It's good, but it can be better.
I told you I was going to use this in my videos. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please be sure to drop a like, hit that subscribe button, feel free to catch me live on Twitch, and follow me on all my other socials if you want to see more of my good stuff. And with all that being said, I hope you guys have a great day today, and I will see you guys in the next one. Until next time, always remember the name, T-Lander.